Meghan Markle discussed the etymology of the word BTCH in the most recent episode of her Spotify podcast, Archetypes. The Duchess of Sussex sat down with businesswoman Melody Hobson, entrepreneur Victoria Jackson, writer Robin Thede, author Alison Yarrow and zoologist Lucy Cook for meaningful conversations about the negativity surrounding the term and how some women are reclaiming it as a positive label. At the beginning of the episode, Meghan opened up about her love of words, etymology, grammar, and admiring people with expansive vocabularies, revealing that there was a particular TV show she was obsessed with growing up. The Duchess said, "At this point in the series, I think I've established that I spent a lot of time in front of the TV growing up. I loved movies and shows. I had my favorite programs. And, as we continue to unearth, with archetypes, many of them can be influenced by pop culture and by the media. Growing up in the 80s and 90s, my generation, we were raised with television in the same way that this generation is raised with social media. But we didn't have that then, there was no Instagram or TikTok. You couldn't even record shows unless you had a blank VHS tape that you could race to queue up at the exact time so you'd hope not to miss your favorite show." For Gen Z listeners, you're going to have to Google or I guess TikTok what I'm even talking about. But for those of you who remember these days, you will also remember the shows that you were always ready for. Now, for me, this was Jeopardy! She continued, "Jeopardy was my favorite show growing up, and I would eat my dinner on a TV tray in front of the screen, watching each category and clue with bated breath and intense focus, trying to absorb whatever facts they were firing off in the form of a question. Prince Harry should be banished from royal family if memoir damages firm. Poll finds Prince Harry should be banished from the royal family if his memoir damages the firm, according to a poll carried out between October 12 and 13 with 1,624 respondents. Techne UK found almost 7 in 10 Brits think the Duke should be banished if his new book contains damaging statements. Read more here. My obsession with this show was so deep. You guys, when Alex Trebek passed away, I started to receive texts of condolence. I didn't know him, but everyone who knew me knew how meaningful Jeopardy! And its host were as a daily part of my life. This love of facts extended into my love of words, etymology, grammar, and admiring people with expansive vocabularies. I was, and I still am, a word nerd." Meghan has previously spoken about being a nerd while she was growing up in Los Angeles, telling previous episodes of her podcast that she took pride in being the smart one. During a conversation with Paris Hilton, the Duchess explained that for teenagers during the 90s, the trend was to be sexy, hot and cool, with Paris being within the zeitgeist of that culture. Meghan has described herself as a nerd before, telling Marie Claire in 2013 that she was a theater nerd while at Northwestern University, where she studied a double major in both theater and international relations. The 41-year-old mom of two admitted she did not know what she could talk about with Paris, as much of her career had been built on the idea that she was not smart. Meghan, addressing her guest, said, "I remember growing up in LA, around the same age, and you were just so famous and so beautiful. All the things that, especially when you're young, and especially in the 90s, all that pop culture stuff, it was so influential. Everything was about trying to be sexy and hot and cool. I mean, there was this moment, you were in that zeitgeist and I was this nerd, so it was so hard for me to think about what you and I would talk about when so much of the identity, Whether it was placed upon you, or you adopted, or embraced, or used to build a career, was about not leaning into being smart. After speaking with Paris, the Duchess admitted she had judged her as she had previously doubted that there could be anything wrong with the socialite's life. Meghan explained that this had stemmed from her own confidence being wrapped up in being smart rather than pretty, which meant she envied the reality star as a result. Just days later, Meghan gave an in-depth interview to American magazine Variety where she opened up about her life with Prince Harry. Launching the new cover on Instagram, Variety branded the Duchess a nerdy American mom. The magazine released the front cover with the caption, "Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, more widely known by her maiden name Meghan Markle, has been described as many things: determined, relatable, even Diana-like. But spend a day with her, and you'll witness a side that the public hasn't seen, the nerdy American mom." In the interview, Meghan revealed how she and her family are mourning Queen Elizabeth II, her upcoming Netflix docuseries with the Duke of Sussex and the aftermath of the controversial Oprah Winfrey interview. She also, once again, talks about her love of Jeopardy, playing Scrabble and watching cheesy romantic comedies. It comes as Meghan hints that romantic comedies may play a role in her and Harry's deal with Netflix. Later in a Variety interview, speaking about Archewell's projects, Meghan said, "So much of how my husband and I see things is through our love story. I think that's what people around the world connected to, especially with our wedding. People love love. I'm not excluded in that sentiment. And our definition of love is really expansive: partner love, self-love, the love of community and family. We use that as the baseline of the kind of shows and documentaries we want out there." The news comes after Meghan gave a rare interview with The Cut in August speaking on, among other things, the couple's plans for their work with Netflix. When questioned about the possibility of a behind-the-scenes reality series on her life with Harry and their children, at the time Meghan denied the claims. However, the Duchess noted the difference between a historical documentary and a reality docuseries, adding, "The piece of my life I haven't been able to share, that people haven't been able to see, is our love story."